Your friend claims that his commute time to work is different than his commute time returning home for the same day. Okay, so they say that it's different. Commute time to work and commute time home, that they're different from one another. So, actually, they state it right here. That's what we want to look for. That the difference between, this says the mean difference between those commute times is not equal to 0. Meaning that the commute time to work and commute time home, that if you subtract those two times is not equal to 0. They're not the same thing. There's some sort of difference. So anytime you see that language where it says that they're not equal to each other, or they're different from each other, you need that symbol for the alternative. That's what they're trying to test. Okay, let's see. They give us a test statistic. Rejection region. They didn't tell us a p-value. Maybe we'll have to commute here. Which of the following statements are accurate for this hypothesis test? In order to evaluate the claim that the true mean difference between the commute time to work and the commute time returning home is significantly not equal to 0. Man, that's a mouthful, but it sounds like they're just saying which of the following statements? Man, actually, I gotta read that again. That is a long sentence. The true mean difference between the commute time to work and the commute time returning home is significantly not equal to 0. So that's the alternative hypothesis, that the difference between commute time and work time isn't equal to 0. That's what we were just talking about here at the beginning. So which of these statements reflects that difference? If you reject the null hypothesis, that the true mean difference between commute time is equal to 0, rejecting the null hypothesis is what we do when we found evidence, right? We reject the null hypothesis if the p-value is low. If the researchers have evidence to support their claim, we reject the null hypothesis. So that represents the alternative hypothesis, which is what this big crazy sentence is trying to say. Which one of these represents the alternative hypothesis? If you fail to reject the null hypothesis, then you don't have enough evidence to support the alternative hypothesis. Here, and sorry, I've been talking probably too fast. This is the alternative hypothesis, right? I don't remember if I said null or alternative a second ago, but this is all saying, hey, which one of these statements represents the alternative hypothesis? So that doesn't. If you fail to reject the null hypothesis, you're not siding with the alternative. You haven't found significant evidence. Based on the results of the hypothesis test, there's enough evidence at the alpha equals 0.01 level to support the claim that the true mean difference between the commute times is not equal to 0. That is the alternative hypothesis, right? If you have enough evidence to support your alternative hypothesis, that's a significant test. So that is rejecting the null and claiming that there's enough evidence to support your alternative hypothesis. Those are both talking about the same thing. Not sufficient evidence. If you don't have sufficient evidence, then you're not siding with the alternative. You're going with the null. Okay, so that represents the null hypothesis. This big long sentence was asking us to pick which two, it turned out to be two, but which options match the alternative hypothesis. And these are the two that match the alternative.